Hi guys, it's Dr. Annette again for my third installment of my testimony. I do hope everyone is doing well. I forgot to add something that I think was quite significant, and I don't know how I forgot to add this or share it with you guys. But when my stalking and harassment first started, I was out shopping, and this man walked past me and just casually whispered, but loud enough for me to hear. He simply whispered, "Paranoid." And I looked at him and I said, "The devil is a liar." It's my response because I knew that he was attempting to speak something into existence that wasn't there. You know, the things that we go through is reality, it is actual. We are of sound mind. And I was not going to accept it, and I rejected it instantly. So I wanted to share that with you all. Forgot about that. So I moved back to my hometown now, and things get progressively worse. and I quickly learned that it is not a matter of station in life that determines you participating in this demonic endeavor. It is the condition of your heart, content of your character. It is aligning yourself with Christ. It's all of those kind of things that I determined because I moved to this middle class neighborhood, and things just increased. It seemed like that so many had signed on to this exercise of harassment and provocation, because it's not an investigation. That's what it is, just an exercise in provocation. And so here's some of the things that I endured. Break-ins in my home, in my car. Things consistently moved. Things where you can't even report it. I did report things a couple times. And I give a disclaimer that I know this sounds crazy. And I know this sounds really bizarre. But they are just moving things in my home. And it's just bizarre. And so break-ins just move things, break things. They broke quite a bit of things. Jewelry, zippers on hoodies. You go for your favorite hoodie, it's broken. You go for your second favorite hoodie, the zipper's broken on that. It's just bizarre. You go for this, it's broken. You go for that, it's broken. I experienced doors slamming while in the shower. I experienced lights coming from vents while in the shower. Green lights or blue lights. I think they were green, actually. All while I give praise to Yeshua, because I had absolutely no fear. He told me early on, they won't be able to touch you. And I believed him, and I trust him, and I had no fear of matter. So consistent vibrations. So the directed energy weapons were being used on me, and I'll show you that too in the upcoming video I have for you. And also feeling of, I only think I can liken this feeling to is like a moonwalk simulation. I don't know if you all ever heard of that or participated in that, where you go into this contraption and it's like a simulating moonwalk. That's the feeling I had in this house. There's, of course, all TIs go through noise campaigns, consistently followed. And I know that sounds like paranoia, but these gang stalkers they have a sign to let you know that you are being followed. I won't express what mine is, but one headlights, well, that's universal. Everyone goes through that. The one headlights, And it's not just one car, two cars, three cars. It is just dozens of cars, depending on where you're going. It could be quite a few. Followed in stores and parks. Family members engaging in directed conversation. Directed conversation is conversation that mimics what you have talked about previously and they shouldn't be privy to. So it's just taking a snippet of what you've talked about. And this is not something that is occurring here and there. This is something that's quite in depth and quite consistent. So for anyone who might say, oh, that happens to me, here and there. No, this is something that going along with other things that the family member may do. This is something that you can pretty much identify that they've been coached to mimic particular things. So my electronics were hacked. I've had email accounts that were completely wiped clean, erased. Followed on trips, bank accounts hacked, credit cards hacked. I was going on a trip to, I think I was going to Florida with my family, and I was heading home to purchase the plane ticket. When I got home and opened the computer, checked my account, and it already had a plane ticket purchased to Florida. I'm laughing because I don't know what else to do sometimes, but I do get kind of tickled at these demons seem kind of like adolescents to me. It's just the most ridiculous of things that they come up with, and I don't know how they spend that time with this kind of these kind of demonical strategies. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, followed on trips. Let's see. Yeah, so much like what other TIs go through of followed directed conversation, directed energy weapons being used 24/7. I even have initially I think they were presenting honeypots, but I don't fall for that. So what I think they do is try to occupy time with try to occupy the time of someone that I now reside with, so that they're not experiencing these directed energy weapons. So meaning if I'm wrong, she will correct me, but I really do suspect that's what it is, where they occupy a lot of her time, pulling her out of the house. I heard one conversation where someone was literally begging her to leave the house. I suspect, let me say that they may get paid to successfully, remove her from the home. As soon as she's removed from the home, the directed energy increases. The directed energy attack increases. And so I'll just leave that right there. One more. Okay, so I moved back to Chesterfield, and I was greeted with this little ditty on the porch. So I did go to the police station to report that. That was on the back porch. Also, I want you to take notice to this next video. The fan is spinning, but it's not on. It is the directed energy weapon that is propelling this fan to spin. It's not on. But the energy was heavy that day, and I'm assuming pointing towards the fan, and it was pushing it. So So this fella pulled up one day, and I didn't notice him until I audited the cameras, and he took pictures all about the house. For the sake of time, I won't show you all. He was in the backyard taking pictures of all the windows, of all aspects of the house, because I have cameras in most of the windows. And so he went about the house taking pictures all around the house. I did call my landlord once I discovered him, and he wasn't familiar with this person. He didn't know who he was. And so I suspect he was somebody linked to my organized harassment, because things got increasingly more difficult, more pronounced once he was there. Once, I discovered him. I don't know, about a week later, it got worse. I'm assuming he was there to assess and better set up the equipment that they use. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, if you don't, it's been my experience that they enter your home to better stalk you, to better harass you, to find out more about you, to position their equipment more effectively. If you appear that you're doing fine, they will come in and calibrate and those type things. So this fella was I think involved with that. So this is one of my chairs that I just dusted the chair, and came back a little bit after and noticed that it was all cut up. It's as if there's a real element of jealousy amongst these people. Anything nice, they want to ruin it, or I don't know if they think that impacts you emotionally and mentally, but that's what they do. If you have something nice, and I had quite a few nice pieces, and they would do what they could to ruin it. And so check this out with this chair. This is not an isolated thing. I mean, they would do what they could with different pieces in the house of loosening the leg on something where you go, and if you a couple of times I've caught things where it's just tipping over and I had to tighten up legs, or they'll pull the stickers off stuff. Well, not stickers, I don't know, this kind of wood looking material that's on furniture, like a dresser or whatever. They would pull it up, and I mean they just did all kinds of demonical stuff that number one, you shouldn't be in people's homes without being invited, but they would just go through and damage things, damage your items. So here's an example. And so guys, I know isolated these things can sound quite commonplace, but I want you to know collectively these things happen. Happening consistently every day or every week is not commonplace. It is not something that is normal. And so I do recognize isolated, it's quite commonplace. But put all together in what these myself and other TIs experience, this consistent barrage of you know, psychological and spiritual warfare is quite different than something, commonplace. So, I think I'll wrap up here for this particular video. Probably my next video, I want to talk about workplace mobbing. It's something I experienced. Worked at a hospital, and they took orders really well, those demons. I mean, they would, position themselves for hours. I don't know who gave particular people that kind of leeway to sit around and watch you. When I tell you this stuff is bizarre, and I know it sounds bizarre to the untrained ear, meaning people who haven't been exposed to this, because it sounded very odd to me when I would listen to TIs prior to getting targeted. So I think I will focus on workplace mobbing and try to lend some insight and also bring my experience to bear. So again, you're not the weird one. You're not the weird one, TI. It's not you. And I just want you all to be prayerful. Give yourself over to the Lord. He will fight your battle. He will give you peace and gladness and joy in the midst of this. And so I'm praying for all TIs. I did read something recently, this might be of interest to you all, that in America right now, it's approximately 400,000 targeted individuals. That's being reported, and over 3 million worldwide. That's astounding to me. Again, this is not an investigation. This has nothing to do with security. This is, again, exercise in retaliation. It's an exercise in provocation. And I would like to make it known in this video that I am neither homicidal nor suicidal, and I am of sound mind. And I hope this helps other people who are downtrodden, who are feeling heavy, and so I'm praying for all TIs worldwide. See you next time.